Oh, I can imagine. God.
Do we want to shut?
Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee to order at 6:31. 6:31, sorry. Okay, members of this committee include myself, Council Waterman, and Council Blair. We have 5 pieces tonight, and we have 3 people coming in. I'd like to call Jason Allard to the stand.
Hello, how are you?
Anytime you're ready.
My name is Jason Allard. I am a candidate here tonight for the Municipal Building Commission. I live at 7 Nick Rock Road in Attleboro. I have 3 kids in the Attleboro school system. As I was reading the description of this committee, it really started to appeal to me more so for the fact that we get to shape, in essence, the future of Attleboro and its buildings. And I found that personally really exciting. In the past, I've served on the Balfour Riverwalk Committee, way long time ago. And prior to that was the Traffic Study Commission.
So you have experience of how things work.
Just doing the Balfour Riverwalk was essentially building.
Yeah, there was one. I was a senior in high school, I think, when it finished. The Mayor Robbins had appointed me and one other high school cohort of mine to serve on that committee to kind of give the younger person impression of what we should put there. So it was interesting.
Buried a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot. Oops.
If I may ask, do you have any experience? What is your job?
So I own a company, New England Finishing Solutions. We install and service paint booths for the automotive and marine industry. I'm a licensed Massachusetts contractor and a master sheet metal license in Massachusetts.
I didn't quite get you.
Yeah, I own a company. We service and install paint booths for the automotive and marine. Yeah, so in essence, we build buildings that have HVAC controlled environments that then people paint in.
Yeah.
Whether it be furniture, cars, tanks, boats, things like that.
It's quite the thing now, those booths.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Again, it's never the same thing twice, ever. So it's definitely different.
I painted cars with a paper mask.
And you heated up the paint on a wood stove, probably, right?
No, not a wood stove. We heated it up.
Wood stove.
That's what probably one generation prior used to do, right? Was the wood stove?
A couple of generations.
Okay. Now it'll blow you away what they do.
Yeah, I know it.
That's incredible. Any questions, Councilor Waterman?
What first made you want to serve the city in whatever the capacity may be?
Okay. Actually, this is so. My wife and I and our 3 kids moved back here 3 years ago. Probably 4 or 5 months ago, my son needed to do an interview for an elected official, so he reached out to the mayor, and they did their interview, all good, and he came back. We were kind of going over what he asked and what he got for answers, and I was kind of like, I kind of missed the allure of being involved within the city. And at that point, I reached out to the mayor, probably, a couple months after that, and he, mentioned what was available, and I looked at what might be a good fit for myself.
Thank you.
Anytime I hear Eagle Scout.
Yep.
Talk to me about that, because I think that's incredible, and takes a lot of commitment, and that, in my book, that goes a long way. It's just that takes a lot.
So what started it all was when I was 13, 14. I lived on Campus Road in South Attleboro, down in the back behind, which is now Sarone's, and for my Eagle Scout project, I built the park on May Street. sat like that for, well, at that point, probably like 9 or 10 years, just with no name. We built the park out. It's obviously been, another Eagle Scout actually did a project where he revitalized it, and then now I know the city does keep up with it, but and then in 2004 or 5, the park was named after my father after he passed away.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I knew you did.
yeah, David Allard.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It rings a bell now.
Yeah, it was, it's,
We have a close mutual friend, your dad
yeah.
and I, Bob Hines.
Yep, Bob Hines, yep. Yep, he's doing well, so.
Good.
That's great. That's great. Well, thanks, Jason, for
Thank you
coming
very
up. I
much.
appreciate it. And we're gonna take care of this today. And if it gets voted favorably in committee, which I would expect it to, you'll get a letter at some point, and then you'll come down and get sworn in.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Chris, like to? Yes, sir.
I was just going to say that I'm the chairman of the Municipal Building Commission, and the mayor asked me to interview Mr. Allard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Do you want to? All right. I had no idea. I apologize. I thought you were here for something else.
I am. For a
Okay.
hearing at 7 o'clock, but Jack Jacoby, chairman of the Municipal Building Commission, mayor asked me to interview Jason before he was nominated. I thought he would be a very good fit for our commission, and so I certainly recommend to you that he be confirmed.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Chris. And Chris is up for the Conservation Commission, so I'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name's Christopher Leone. I live at 34 Constitution Ave, which is over by Briggs Pizzeria, if you need a landmark. I also have 3 kids in Attleboro Public Schools. We've been here about 12 years. And I've been working at the same company for about 22 years out of Boston. It's a large, heavy civil structural firm. I first became aware of the opening on the Concom through a Facebook post that my wife told me about. She knows I've been looking to get involved in serving my community for a while now, and this seemed like a good opportunity. It sidetracks with the kind of work that I do, so I thought it was a good fit, and I reached out.
And so you're an engineer, right? On basically, I think in country, bridges, highways, tunnels, airports.
Yeah, it's all large infrastructure related. Yeah, so we do a lot of work around the state and around the country.
Wow, that's I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of conservation issues just doing that stuff.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not an environmental scientist or anything like that, but as far as running a project, being a project manager, you run into these things. You have other people that deal with the daily things like that, but it's a good understanding of the system and how it works. And just the nature of my work as a lighting engineer specifically, I deal a lot of human health impacts from outdoor lighting, as well as flora fauna related light impacts as communities develop and need lighting. So we do deal with that sort of thing, but not specifically wetlands and stuff. Yeah.
Don't take this personal. I ask everybody.
Sure.
Right? Going on the Conservation Committee or Planning Board or whatnot. What is your feeling about development?
Communities got to go. Communities have to grow. So as we grow, we have to also respect our natural environment, and that's why we have these laws in the book to make sure that
You don't have
those.
any strong feelings about stopping it.
I have strong feelings in both directions. We have to grow as a society. That means development. That means infrastructure, and we have to also pay respect to our natural environment.
But you will go by the rules and regulations that's set down.
That is the job. No, I don't have any personal bias.
Because I just don't think that you can totally stop it. You go by the rules. We got quite a set of rules.
That's why they exist, right?
And hopefully they're put in place and
Yep,
they're justified.
absolutely.
But we can go overboard.
Yes.
I'm Ty. Have you seen wetland impacts in your business?
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a project right now in Massachusetts where we have to respect those rules that are put in place by the different cities that it impacts. For instance, Milton and Quincy right now on one of my projects. So we have to go through the process, and you have to submit the letters, and you have to go in front of the Concom and present your project and get approvals. Most of it is excluded, the work that we do, but we still go through the steps.
Right. So what I hear you saying is that you can live with growth, but you also have to be careful about the environment as you do it. That's what I hear.
It's a balance, right?
It's a balance. And a balance is possible.
Yep. I agree.
Thank you.
That's what I was trying to get across. I don't know
Yep.
if you, like I said, it's nothing personal, but
No?
you can't, that's one committee, you can't, I don't think, you can be one-sided.
Well, you have your wetlands regulations, and you have to follow them, right?
Yeah. And I think they should be respected and gone by, but.
Yep. I agree.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Chris. I appreciate you coming in, and like I said to Jason, if it gets taken care of tonight in committee and council, then you'll get a letter, and then you'll come in to get sworn in, at a time convenient, and then you'll go from there.
Okay, great. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you for coming down.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Now is Alexis. Oh, okay, Alexis, you're there. I couldn't see you. Okay, Alexis.
Jack, do me a favor. Could they shut the back door so a little bit of noise coming through?
Okay, Alexis also is for the Conservation Commission as well.
Yes, I am Alexis Karagonis. I've lived in Attleboro my entire life. At one point, I was neighbors with Kathy.
Yes, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So, as I said, I've lived in this city my entire life. I currently work for Mass DOT. I've been a civil engineer my entire career.
Wow.
I've started in the private industry and spent the last 14 or so years in public, working for the city of Pawtucket prior to the state. And I now work for DOT, both with District 5, which Attleboro is in, and I'm now currently in Boston headquarters. So I spent 4 years in the district doing highway maintenance. I was literally that person that everybody called about potholes. So I feel everybody's pain.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a lot of various location stuff, maintenance, a lot of drainage issues. We did all the pavement, fence stuff. I now do look at everything for the district, so whether it's guardrail or fencing, the highway sweeping, drainage, tree trimming, look at all of it. I remember a little when I was actually talking with Gary about this when I came in, was that he actually knew my grandfather. My grandfather was on the planning board. I must have been in elementary school, so late 80s, early 90s. Wow. And I remember coming in with him, and that's probably one of the things that sparked me to come participate in, local government. I spent a lot of time on, in state government, being a public servant there, but I was trying to figure out how I could, help the city. Like, what else could I do to help out? And I saw the mayor's posting on Facebook for a Concom position, and I immediately emailed him, so.
That's great. That's great. Council Waterman, Council Blair, you guys all set? All set? Any?
Could you share, thank you very much for coming. Could you share with a little bit more about your experience with environmental issues in your work?
Oh, quite a few of the stuff we did in highway maintenance actually required us to go in front of Concom, doing a notice of intent. There was some stuff that we were fine with doing, but there were other things that we actually had to do a whole plan set for. We had to do an entire survey for to actually get be approved by Concom. And actually, most of those were our drainage issues. We've run across a few things where we had endangered species in areas, so we actually had to be amazingly careful what we do. We had to submit quite a few plans on that before Concom checked it off.
Yeah, appreciate it. And do you enjoy that kind of work?
Love it.
Well, that's real.
President Delicio.
Thank you for coming down. If I was smirking a little when you said you work for MassDOT, as a as a fellow MassDOT employee, I understand. I think your experiences make you a great fit, and I really appreciate you coming out and throwing your name in the ring for this, so thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Alexis. And like we had mentioned to others, that we'll get this to committee, go to council, get voted on, passes. You'll get a letter in the mail, and you come down at your convenience, and probably be in front of Mrs. Jackson and get sworn in.
Sounds great.
Great. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Okay, that's all for Caragonis.
Caragonis.
All right, we'll continue on. From the docket of March 15, 2022, I entertain a motion to approve the following reappointments for the positions and for the terms that have indicated. Joanne Vaughn, Attleboro Housing Authority, Tenant Rep, 5-year, expires February 2027. Shannon Benet, Planning Board, 5-year, February 2027.
Second.
All right, motion's in order. Any comments, concerns? These are reappointments. I don't see anything.
Fine.
All right.
They're excellent people, I know them.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. From the docket of March 15, 2022, entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Alexis Caragonis, 61 Steeplechase Circle, Unit 3, to fill an unexpired term on the Conservation Commission, term to expire February 2023.
Second.
Motion's in order. Any comments or concerns? We just...
Seems like a real good fit.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. For the docket of March 15, 2022, I entertain a motion to confirm the appointments of Mayor Paul Harrow and Council President James Delicio, representatives of the city on the Sturdy Memorial Hospital Board of Managers, term to expire February 2024.
Second.
All right, motion's in order. Any questions, comments?
I was wondering if, Jay, you're not serving yet, right?
I am not.
I just was wondering what the involvement entails. That's all.
As I get involved, I'll let you know, sir.
Let me know.
A lot of luncheons, Ty.
A lot of luncheons.
I don't miss many meals, so it's all well and good.
I'm just trying to get my spirits up a little.
I was just curious. I guess we have a second, and I'm a
There
second.
you go. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. For the docket of March 15, 2022, I entertain a motion to approve the reappointment of Julie Hobson, 84 Barrow Street, North Attleboro, Mass., to the position of Chief Assessor as recommended by the Board of Assessors for a term of 3 years, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
Second. All right, motion's in order. I mean, we all know Julie's just does a fantastic job. I mean, yes, sir. Councilor Condy.
Thank you for recognizing me. As an assessor, I have to tell you that Julie has earned my highest respect. Her comprehension of the principles and methodology in law is outstanding. And the work that she did for the Economic Development Incentive Board last year was positively stunning. I mean, the work that you would expect from a career assessor, that's how good it was. So I'm not liberal with my compliments, you might have noticed. So this should ring true, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Councilor Condy. Councilor Blair.
I've had the privilege of bringing some constituents into me on some issues tax-wise and whatnot. The woman is absolutely fantastic, The people have left saying thank you a number of times. She's so professional. She knows what she's talking about, and these constituents left happy, which is a big plus when you can come and leave a government office and be happy about being there and satisfied when you left. So
I know.
kudos to her.
Council, President Delicio.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Rick and Peter have done a nice job encapsulating what Julie does, but it's a very cumbersome, complex, learning everything that Julie does. But every time we go to her with questions, she never makes you feel like that's a ridiculous question or a foolish question. I've learned quite a lot from working with Julie over the last several years. She's really an asset to the city, and this is it's a no-brainer in my estimation.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, can I pile on?
Absolutely.
So I've worked with Julie of late on a couple of the items in the senior tax committee, and I appreciate that she has a sincere interest in wanting to relieve the tax burden of the residents. So she's just not up there doing her job. She's really interested, and she's like, I know this is going to hurt some people. What can we do? And she's been very receptive to any of my ideas about, and the committee's ideas about things that we could do to help people. So I appreciate her sincerity. Not only does she does her job, but she does it, with a conscience. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm new here, and I come from the business world, and I've been in a lot of executive meetings over the years, and immediately she impressed me in exactly what everybody's saying. It's just talk about making it comfortable, explaining things on the way they need to be, and I've been blown away and impressed.
So I'll add my piece. I've had the experience of people who were in rough financial circumstances where it was hard to make the payment come to me, and how do I work out my property tax? And I'm sure you've been through that. And I can attest that she helped work it out for several people. Real hard. And it made those folks feel good too, because they wanted to make their payment. And we found ways to work it out.
That's great. That's great. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. For the docket of March 15, 2022, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Jason Allard, 7 Nick Rock Road, to fill an expired term on the Municipal Building Commission, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
All right, motion's in order. Any questions? I know we just heard from him. I think I was impressed, and I think he'd be a great addition.
Seems like it'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's a challenge he's going to really love taking on.
Yeah, I agree. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, from the docket of March 15, 2022, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Christopher Leone, 34 Constitution Ave, to fill an expired term on the Conservation Commission, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
All right, motion's in order. Any questions? We just heard from him, and I feel that he'll be a great addition as well too.
Absolutely.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, aye. Motion passes. All right, that concludes the business for the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee. I move to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:54.
Council will now come to order. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What I would like to do now is entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Let's see. We have a second. We will do a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Aye.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Kobus.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. We're now operating under suspended rules, and the reason I wanted to do this tonight is give our guests an opportunity to come and address the council. But before we get to that, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the records of January 18th, February 1st, February 15th, and March 1st, 2022.
Second.
Second, any questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. We are joined tonight by the Attleboro Council on Human Rights, who I would love to have you come up and address the council on something that I think is very near and dear to a lot of people.
Good evening, President Delicio and city councilors. My name is Laurie Sawyer. Nobody knows who I am, right? And I live at 136 Curtis Ave, and I come before you tonight as chair of the Council on Human Rights to read a statement that we have prepared to show our support of Ukraine. The Attleboro Council on Human Rights condemns the Russia attack on Ukraine as a blatant and egregious violation of human rights. This unjust war was unprovoked by Ukraine and has deprived millions of people of their homes, their families, and their basic human rights. Ordinary citizens, including many children, are enduring sustained attacks by military forces and experiencing severe shortages of food and drinking water. This humanitarian crisis has forced civilians to flee their homes and take refuge in subway stations, bomb shelters, and parking garages, or risk crossing borders into neighboring countries. These actions by Russia amount to war crimes against the sovereign country of Ukraine. We are gravely concerned about these human rights atrocities. On Saturday, March 5th, many Attleboro residents participated in a peaceful demonstration coordinated by our own Barbara Clerk to show support for Ukraine and to stand in opposition of Russian aggression. We were joined by elected officials such as members of your own honorable body and the school committee. Representatives Jim Hawkins, Adam Scanlon, Senator Feeney, and U.S. Congressman Jake Auchincloss to express how our city of Attleboro, our state of Massachusetts, and the entire country are supporting Ukraine. We on the Council on Human Rights encourage residents of Attleboro to stand with us as we raise our voices in condemnation of Putin's war and in support of the Ukrainian people. While the U.S. has put sanctions on Russia to make it hard for them to continue with their senseless war, we must continue to publicly support Ukraine and its efforts to defend itself against these acts of war. Individually, residents can donate to several reputable organizations such as CARE, International Rescue Committee, Ukrainian Red Cross, UNICEF, and Project Hope. They can also ask their representatives to support imposing sanctions on Russian exports, and we must put pressure on corporations to suspend business operations in Russia. And finally, it's crucial to call out Russian disinformation and accounts and campaigns to put an end to the propaganda that fueled this attack. We recognize that those in our community who have family and friends still in Ukraine or countries close by who are feeling this pain of this horror. Our council stands united with this brave Ukrainian people, the Russian citizens who are protesting in the streets at grave risk to their own safety, and the rest of the world against Putin's attacks. We ask each of you to join us in signing our statement of support and solidarity with the Ukrainian people. to see that we will not tolerate these violent actions, not in the U.S., not in Massachusetts, and not here in Attleboro. Thank you. Council on Human Rights.
Thank you for those words. Very poignant.
Great. There's also a copy of this in your packets.
Thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing, and congratulations on a successful event on
Yes.
March 5th.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Stay true on Sunday, maybe.
Thank you. We will now move on to public hearings, and Madam Clerk, would you please read the...
Do you want to rise from the committee of the whole, or you want to stay in it?
I just recognize him as a guest. Thank you. Would you read the notice for the first public hearing, please?
Yes. First public hearing is regarding the Class 2 license application submitted by Papantoniadis Automotive Group, Incorporated, DBA as Toy Cars Motorsports at 676 Pleasant Street with 17 customer and 95 display spaces.
Thank you. Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Mr. President, members of the council, Jack Jacoby, 144 Bank Street. I represent the applicants. Stefano Papantoniadis is there, and Francis Arujo. They are brother-in-laws, and they are jointly proposing to operate this business. Stefano is a graduate of Universal Technical Institute. He's a certified mechanic. He would run the mechanical repair operation there. And Stefano has a lot of experience in the family business with the sale of used vehicles, so he would be the sales manager for the location. The location is 676 Pleasant Street, which was originally 60 years ago, Anderson Chrysler Plymouth. So there has been a car dealership located there for a long, long time. Bob Anderson sold out to Leo Giannino. Leo Giannino sold out to Tarbox, and then the Chrysler pulled the license on them. Cindy Carroll then bought the site and ran her automotive repair business there until recently selling it to my clients. This site has an interesting zoning history, perhaps only interesting to lawyers who do zoning, but it's in a single residence D district, but it was when Mr. Anderson went to locate his business there, he got it rezoned by your predecessors, and it was appealed by some neighbors, and the Supreme Judicial Court turned it over as spot zoning. And so back in those days, however, our zoning ordinance allowed for a use variance. So Mr. Anderson went to the zoning board and got a use variance. Those use variances were supposed to be for a term of 1 year. After 3 years, the zoning board told them, don't bother coming back, you have it permanently. And whether they had the authority to do that or not, as Larry Fitton used to say, if 20 days goes by and no one appeals it, then it's the law. So this site has continuously been a car dealership, except for the time when Cindy had it, when it was only auto repair. She also had the buses stored there, the school buses. The school buses are gone. My clients intend to return this to its traditional use. They will not be selling new cars, but just used cars. The site is large. It's 2.36 acres. There's 173 parking spaces out there on the ground. So I believe we submitted to you a copy of the decision of the zoning board that where they agreed that it could be restored as a lawful pre-existing non-conforming use. They did limit them to 95 display spaces. My clients hope someday to get to that. They are going to start much smaller. They hope to have probably about 15 to 20 cars on site at the beginning, because wouldn't make a lot of sense to buy 90 or 95 cars and have that much tied up in inventory at this point. So they are hopeful that eventually perhaps 5 years in the future, they will have 8 salespeople and 10 service people. Right now, though, it's going to be small. They have 17 customer parking spaces that are designated, and then the spaces out farthest in the back will just be vacant because they'll be limited to the 95 display spaces if you should so choose to agree with the Zoning Board of Appeals. Their hours of operation would be Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I would submit to you that they meet all of the standards in order to be properly licensed. They are experienced, and I believe they'll bring a quality operation of both sales and service to the city.
Any questions for Attorney Jacoby? Council Waterman.
Well, it's not really a question. I've been there. Actually, I've been a customer there for a long time. And I've walked around and with Stefano, and we've looked at the property and the spaces for the customer spaces, which are marked out now. And I can see where that's probably a very good idea to start smaller. And so do we have an idea of when they'll start to build their inventory and begin selling the cars after they get their license?
Well, if this goes to committee next week and it comes out of committee and gets voted on in 2 weeks and the mayor signs it, they would hope to start in 3 weeks.
Okay.
And that's obviously the most aggressive timeline, but it depends on this council's action.
Yes.
Any other questions for Mr. Jacoby? Jack, I have one question. So when I look at the name Toy Cars, which is fun, I like that, Toy Cars Motorsports, what kind of vehicles will they be selling when we hear motorsports?
They'll be normal used cars.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if it would be like ATVs, motorcycles,
this
things
is
of that nature.
This is sedans, SUVs, compact cars, all sorts of light trucks, pickup trucks, I guess. But they told me that they intend to sort of get a variety of things at the beginning and see what sells best here in Attleboro, and then try to concentrate on whatever is moving the best as they grow their inventory.
Great. All right. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor?
Any questions I may be able to answer regarding what our plans are, process?
If you'd like to come up and talk to us a little bit, feel free.
Hey everyone, my name is Francis Arujo. I'm the brother-in-law of
We just need your address as well, please.
61 Oakhurst Street.
You're in Attleboro?
North Attleboro.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. My name is Francis Arujo. I'd like to address the committee. My brother-in-law is Stefano Popoltoniadis. Any questions for me regarding the facility? I know you had some questions regarding the vehicles.
Yeah, just wanted, because the name Toy Cars Motorsports, when I hear motorsports, just wanted to...
Well, we want to make it fun. We want to bring a lively. We want to suit the committee. You asked if there was going to be ATVs or anything like that. That's not the goal. But if one day the demand is for those products, and that's something that we're going to do. We really want to come and add to the community and what the community needs.
Great. Councilor Dolan and then Vice President Corbis.
I think I beat you. If you'd be open to some advice, I don't really have a question. So typically what we do is we'll go by and, like, the committee will go by and inspect to see if you have the proper number of cars that you're allowed. So if you could just stay within that, I know you said you're starting small, but when you get to that point, if you could stay within that.
Yeah.
And to let you know, the state comes through to check.
Yep.
They do random checks of car dealerships for your lemon law stickers on the vehicles.
Yes, sir.
So you just want to make sure that you do that as well, just to stay on top of it, because it's good to start off on the right foot, and
I'm well aware of the expectations set by the town and also DOT and everything like that with the stickers and lemon law. I've been in management for quite a while. working with the car dealership as well. So we're going to meet all standards, which is how, I've been taught how to do it. I've never worked for a smaller dealership. I've always worked for an upper scale size dealership. The dealership I'm working for now are selling about that range of vehicles. We're ready to rock.
Good. I wish you success.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate your advice.
Vice President Corbis.
Thank you. The question I have is with regard to where there has been questions in the past from the neighbors with the zoning. Is there anything you're planning to do in order to ensure that you remain a good neighbor in that residential area?
Of course. I mean, we're going to do whatever, obviously they're going to come in. Hopefully they're our customers. And we're going to do whatever we need to do in order to accommodate them. I believe that we're actually going to be making less noise and less motion than what the buses currently do. I mean, they're pulling in and out constantly. Their drivers are pulling out constantly. So the fact that the vehicle will be stationed, most of, I'd say, 30-40% of our sales is probably going to be online. So there's not going to be a ton of activity on that end, other than obviously over the phone and over the internet. So I think it's going to be a great change for those residents that live around that area.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other questions? Mr. Waterman.
Yes. I'm a little confused.
Sure.
I see that your name is going to be Toy Cars.
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to change that from Pleasant Street Auto to Toy Cars?
No, sir. So what we're doing is so there's technically two separate departments, okay?
Okay.
We want to maintain the name. We want to maintain what Cindy Carroll has done for the town. It's a very known name, and the customers are used to driving by and seeing that name, and we feel like that attracts people to stop by. What we want to do is we want to add the ability to offer vehicles. In the auto industry, it's really a cycle, right? Customers buying the vehicle, customers servicing the vehicle, and once the vehicle again gets older, they then turn around and buy another vehicle again. So it's a cycle. So a location actually really feeds off of the two, and that's what we're trying to do.
So are they two equal names, or do you want to still be known primarily as Pleasant Street Auto?
I would like to be known whatever people want to call us.
Do you mind just so the cameras can?
Oh, I apologize.
Thank you.
I'd like to be known for however people want to call us. Like I said again, we're the community took us in, and we want to come in and we want to add. And if the community wants to call us President Auto, then they're welcome to do so. And if they want to, if they enjoy the name Toy Cars, which my father-in-law came up with, then they can call us that as well.
Okay.
Great.
Yes.
Councilor Dolan.
Sorry, I used to be the chair of license committee, so I'm going to give you another piece of advice.
Sure.
The only complaint, the biggest complaint we get with car dealerships near residents is the delivery. So are you buying like a couple, I know you're starting small, but usually like if a big tractor trailer comes in, and sometimes they roll in at 1 a.m. and they park on the street and unload the vehicles there.
That's not going to happen with us. We don't want 18-wheelers to come into the lot. That was something that we spoke to with the zoning. Majority of the time, because we're a smaller scale, we're not buying an 18-wheeler full of vehicles. Or essentially, we're trying to buy the vehicles local. We're going to go to Mannheim, Odessa, which is normally what we do, which are local auctions. And majority of the time, we're actually going with dealer plates and picking those vehicles individually. And the auction usually happens twice a week. We're hoping that, we'll sell the cars that we're planning on doing. But in the first few years, it's not as likely. But the 18-wheelers are more for dealerships that are selling, 200, 300 cars a month. With 95 cars in display, the turn of those 95 cars are about, I'd say, 50 to 60%. So at full inventory, we're looking at turning about 40 cars to 50 cars. It's literally not even close to that scale.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that there's a dealership in South Attleboro that has about 100 display cars,
Yeah.
and they have that issue where they have the tractor trailer coming in
Yeah.
at 1 a.m. and really causes issues, but if that's not gonna happen, then.
No, we don't. I don't presume that happening.
Okay.
And if worst comes to worst, if we did order a vehicle, we'd request that they met us at a different location, and we just go over with the dealer plate and picked up that vehicle. Yeah, we don't have we honestly at that street being so busy, we don't want
Yeah, and it's not that I'm not saying it's not allowed. I'm just saying, sometimes they roll in at 1 a.m. You don't know when they're gonna arrive, and if if you have to be able to unload it on your own property and such. So I wasn't saying that it's not allowed, just to be on the good neighbor point,
No, and I completely understand, and I appreciate the advice as well.
Councilor Reynolds.
You're welcome.
So just quickly, I'm a little confused why you don't care what people call you. I mean, you're under an automotive group doing business as Toys Cars, and you don't care if people call you Pleasant Street, but you're talking about being online, so how are they gonna look you up?
So that's a very good question. So we're actually going to have two separate websites that are going to feed off each other, okay?
So you're going to have a Pleasant Street one and a Toy Cars?
So we do have a Pleasant Street website, and we will have a Toy Cars website.
Okay.
So when you Google, it's going to be one location. It's going to take some strategy, but we will figure it out slowly. But that was one of the goals, was to keep it the name and keep the tradition with Attleboro. Everybody loves the name. That's one thing that we have noticed.
Okay, but I was concerned how you were going to get them there, so if it was online. So it's good to know that you, for now, going to have two websites and see how that works.
Yeah, that's the way we're going to, or maybe we'll have one website and one will feed off the other.
Sure, okay, thank you.
So whose name is on the license? Pleasant Street, Toy Cars?
Yeah, so it's going to be Pomponiati's Automotive.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I find that a little bit confusing, but I guess we'll see how you make out with two names. All right, three names.
So it's our intention to file a DBA certificate with the city clerk, because Pomponiati's Auto Group is the licensee, but the name Pleasant Street Auto, which is really, in my mind, associated with the repair operation, and then Toy Cars, which would be associated with the sales operation. Those DBA certificates we would file if this council approves them.
Understood, thank you.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you,
of course.
Good to know, thank you.
And thank you for that clarification. I think the question was more about kind of that line of custody, so, very good.
And if I could just add to what Councilor Kovas was asking about, this is a somewhat unique situation, because not only do they have to answer to you and to the license committee, they also have to answer to the zoning board and the building inspector, because we have conditions on our special permit. So therefore, they have twice as many masters to make sure that they are good neighbors.
Good, thanks for the clarification. Any additional questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for your time.
Good luck.
Anyone else here to speak in favor? Anyone to speak against? Anyone to speak neither for nor against? Seeing none, Council Waterman, do you see any need to keep this public hearing open?
I do not.
I declare that public hearing closed. And Madam Clerk, will you go on to the reading of the second and last
Yes, sir.
public hearing tonight?
Public hearing regarding the petition for Massachusetts Electric Company and Verizon New England Incorporated requesting to install a new pole 1071 on County Street and install an intermediate pole 1071-1 106 feet from new pole 1071.
Thank you. And do we have anyone to speak in favor? Good evening. If you could just have your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Al Galvin, Design Engineer, National Grid, Hopedale office. So this is a new customer across from the golf course, commercial development, condo units. So just happened that pole 1071 was right where the driveway is, so they had to relocate that about 24 feet south, get it out of the way, and in doing so that increased the span on the road from the next pole down, so that's where the intermediate pole comes in.
Do we have any questions? Councilor Dolan.
I think I have one question. Are these like regular telephone poles? Like regular
45-foot.
wood?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And so it's Phillip Street off County, right?
I think it's right on County, isn't it?
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see, Phillip Street is spelled wrong, so I just wanted to make sure it's where I'm thinking it is.
Where do you see Phillips?
It's right.
I have the backup documents, you might not have that.
If I might, Jay,
But it's
just
on
to
County.
clarify it,
Councilor
if you go out of the entrance
Yeah, I know exactly where it is, yep.
across the street, that's where that main entrance is gonna be.
Right, it just, Phillips was spelled different, so I was wondering, anyway, so it's
I just
just,
think, well, whatever, that's where the entrance is gonna be,
Thanks.
right on County Street.
so it's just
I know
wood
that, I'm
poles,
looking
and
in
you're
for a
relocating
condo.
one because of the span, so forth.
Yeah, to maintain the stability of the lines, the weight,
Okay.
weight of all the cables and all that, yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
What's that? Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything was approved, or,
Not
So,
yet.
oh, next,
So we're waiting for, we're going to finish this public hearing tonight. If it's deemed closed, it'll come out of committee next week, then be voted on in 3 weeks on April 5th.
okay, great.
right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else speak in favor? Anyone speak against? Anyone speak neither for nor against? Council Dolan, do you see any need to keep this open?
I do not.
All right, I declare that public hearing closed. Thank you. We will now go on to the mayor's communication.
March 15th, 2022. Dear municipal councilors, the city of Attleboro has been notified of its fiscal year 2023 apportionment from the Chapter 90 local transportation aid in the amount of $1,206,095. Therefore, I respectfully request your honorable body to authorize the expenditure of $1,206,095 and any other future grant amendments into Fund 3108, Chapter 90 projects for the purpose of funding Chapter 90 eligible projects as approved by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, MassDOT. Copies in your packet.
Public Works, please.
Thank you. I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the need to fund the gasoline fuel account due to an increase in consumption and increased pricing. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $25,775 from account 1000-359 000 undesignated fund balance, free cash general government, to account 1420100-5480110, Public Works gasoline fuel. Copies in your packet.
Public Works, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the needs for funds in the diesel fuel account due to an increase in consumption and increased pricing. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $55,508 from account 1000-35900 undesignated fund balance, free cash general government, to account 1420100-5480111 Public Works diesel fuel. Copies in your packet.
Public Works, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Wastewater Thomas Hayes regarding the needs for funds to replace 2 lime slaker grit remover assemblies. A 15% contingency has been added and the installation will be done by wastewater staff. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $30,250 from account 6000-359 Wastewater Enterprise Fund retained earnings to account 6000-589072 Wastewater Enterprise Fund grit screw. Copies in your packets.
Public Works, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Personnel Director Owen Bebo regarding the needs for funds to purchase a new desk for the office. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $499.99 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1152100-542020 Personnel Supplies Office Equipment. Upon approval, the available balance reserve fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $2,105.69. Copies in your packet.
City Property and Claims, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the needs for funds to cover the cost of an amendment in the current contract for the replacement of Peters Avenue Bridge. The additional funds are required to cover unanticipated costs to perform environmental subsurface characterization, extended survey, and roadway redesign, and Chapter 91 dredge permitting. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $25,600 from account 1000-35900 undesignated fund balance, free cash general government, to fund 3571 Peters Avenue Bridge. Copies in your packet.
DPW, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the needs for funds to cover the cost of an amendment in the current contract for the replacement of the Peckham Street culvert. The additional funds are required to cover unanticipated costs to perform environmental subsurface characterization, extended survey, and roadway redesign, and Chapter 91 dredge permitting. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $34,285 from account 1-000-359000, undesignated fund balance free cash general government, to fund 3570 Peckham Street culvert. Copies in your packet.
DPW, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Veterans Agent Ben Quell regarding the donation of $1,000 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Sons of the American Legion Post 312. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept these generous donations. Copies in your packet.
Personnel, Veterans, Human Services, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Attleboro Youth Commission member Sarah Ribeiro regarding the donation of 25 T-shirts from Max Crawford to be used at their discretion for AYC activities. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept these generous donations.
City Property and Claims, please.
As your honorable body is aware, the replacement of the ozone system at the West Street Treatment Plant, Phase 1A and Phase 1B, are categorized as Priority 1 in the fiscal year 2023 to 2027 Capital Improvements Program. The project consists of design, permitting, bidding, construction, and construction oversight for the replacement of the ozone system. The equipment is original to the plant, constructed in 1995, and repairs are becoming costly. The new system will reduce energy costs. This project is explained in greater detail in a memorandum from Superintendent of Water Courtney Allen. Copies in your packet.
Can you just read the next sentence and then we'll waive the rest of the reading?
Certainly. A loan authorization of $5,200,000 is now needed for this project.
Thank you. Finance and Council Concha, would you like to call for a public hearing on April 19th?
Please make it so.
Okay, we'll have a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Council on Aging, Melissa Tucker, regarding the award of the formula grant and its new process. The new award is a 10-year rate award contract, and the annual rate is a function of the state budget. This new award will be good until 2032, and the Council on Aging will inform the Municipal Council annually of its award amount. The Council on Aging has been awarded $94,182 for this fiscal year. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to approve the expenditure of such funds by the Council on Aging and also approve any further grant amendments. Copies in your packet.
Personnel, Veterans, Human Services, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Council on Aging, Melissa Tucker, regarding the receipt of a grant for the SHINE program through the Executive Office of Elder Affairs in the amount of approximately $74,746.98. The Council on Aging plans to spend the funds according to the scope of services given by the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. The funds must be spent by June 30th, 2022. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body approve expending such funds and any future grant amendments. Additionally, I request the approval of these funds by April 5th in order to spend the funds prior to the deadline. Copies in your packet.
Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from the Director of Budget and Administration, Jeremy Stull, regarding the facade restriction on 135 County Street. As you are aware, your honorable body voted on May 14, 2019, to declare the old high school building on 135 County Street and associated parking lot on 0 Cora Street to be available for disposition with the following amendment: to keep as much of the outside integrity of the building, which was built in 1912, intact, to retain and maintain at the very minimum its current facade, the current front stairs and the grassy area and landscaping which faces County Street. Additionally, a communication was sent on February 4th, 2020 to your honorable body to remove the facades restriction. This request was subsequently stricken from the docket and is yet to be revisited. The city has issued 3 requests for proposals, RFPs, in an effort to sell the building with no success. The first 2 RFPs, issued in September and December of 2019, were unsuccessful due to the lack of bidders. The third RFP, issued in December 2020, had a single respondent who requested the city finance their $1 million purchase price with a seller note to be paid back over the course of the project. No city personnel involved in the project were comfortable with that condition, and the proposal was rejected. Based on feedback received from interested developers, we have determined that the facade restriction referenced above poses too great an obstacle for developers to overcome while maintaining economic viability. It is in the city's intention to sell the property to defray AHS project-related borrowing, to return the property to city tax rolls, and to end yearly utility and upkeep expenses associated with the building. The facade restriction is currently complicating all three of those goals. Therefore, I respectfully request Municipal Council revise their May 14, 2019 vote number 2 to remove the facade restriction from the 135 County Street and 0 Core Street surplus declarations. Copies in your packet.
City Property and Claims, please.
I respectfully request your approval on behalf of Old Colony Habitat for Humanity to waive certain permit fees for the construction of the new Habitat build, which will take place on Pike Ave. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body waive the following fees: building permit, mechanical permit, electric permit 35%, plumbing permit 35%, gas/HVAC 35%, new water service fee, and sewer connection.
Zoning and land use, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Chief of Police Kyle P. Hegney regarding the need to surplus the following 45 caliber firearms to be used for trade-in value. Therefore, I respectfully request your honorable body to surplus the items below.
City Property and Claims, please.
Thank you. I respectfully submit for confirmation by your honorable body the appointment of Diane Mangiarotti, 50 Oxbow Drive, Attleboro, as an alternate member on the Historical Commission to fill an expired term to expire February 2024. Copies in your packet.
Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, please.
I respectfully submit for confirmation by your honorable body the following reappointments for the positions in the terms indicated.
And then waive the reading. And that will go to Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services.
I respectfully submit a communication from Health Agent Jessica Horseman regarding the receipt of Sustainable Materials Recovery Program municipal grant from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. The amount of the grant this fiscal year is approximately $48,000 in recycling dividend funds. The funds do not have to be spent in the fiscal year received and may be carried over to future years. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to approve expending such funds and any future grant amendments. Copies in your packet.
DPW, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Water, Courtney Allen, regarding the need for funds for health insurance, Medicare tax, and workers' compensation. A review of the health insurance, HMO, and Medicare tax accounts reveal that additional funding will be required to cover the anticipated expenses for the remainder of fiscal year 2022. Additionally, due to unexpected workers' compensation claims, an internal transfer was made from salary and wages to cover the immediate need. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $90,400 from account 6100359000 Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to the following account: $40,000 to account 6100-517120 Water Enterprise Fund Health Insurance HMO, $4,400 to account 6100-517240 Water Enterprise Fund Medicare Tax, $46,000 to account 6100-51100 Water Enterprise Fund Salary and Wages. Copies in your packets.
Finance, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Fire Chief Scott T. LaChance regarding the receipt of a fiscal year 2022 Student Awareness of Fire Education SAFE Grant and the fiscal year 2022 Senior SAFE Grant from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts of approximately $9,530. The mission of the SAFE program is to provide fire and life safety education within the community, with an emphasis on educating children and seniors about fire and other related dangers. There is no matching requirement for this grant. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body approve expending of such funds and future grant amendments by the Attleboro Fire Department. Copies in your packets.
Public Safety and Emergency Management, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Fire Chief Scott T. LaChance regarding the need to replenish funds in the retrofit lights account after using the funds to complete the installation of security cameras. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $750 from account 1124-1000-578300, citywide reserve fund for transfer, to account 1220100-587385, fire retrofit lights. Upon approval, the available balance in reserve fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $1,355.69. Copies in your packet.
Public Safety and Emergency Management, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Economic Development Director Catherine Frierick regarding the grant award of $1,303,600 from the Federal Trans Administration, FTA, to be transferred to the Greater Attleboro Taunton Regional Transit Authority, GATRA, related to the transportation projects improving the transit-oriented development district, TOD. This grant requires matching funds in the amount of $325,900 from the city. Also, this grant includes an in-kind gift from GATRA, funded through the FTA grant of pedestrian infrastructure, a footbridge across the 10-mile river and sidewalk extension, and a feasibility study and economic impact analysis for a parking structure with Attleboro's TOD. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body accept this generous donation to the City of Attleboro. Additionally, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $325,900 from account 1000-359-000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to fund 3569 TOD GATRA. Copies in your packet.
Zoning and land use, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Recreation Dennis Walsh regarding the need for funds in the heating account due to the increase in prices. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $3,500 from account 1630-1000-511000 recreation salary and wages to account 163-01000-521010 recreation heating. Copies in your packets.
Public Works, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Parks and Forestry Derek Corsi regarding the need for an ordinance change to raise admission fees and change the membership fee structure at the Caperne Park Zoo. As you are aware, this request was sent to your honorable body in April of 2020 and was not acted on that time. Due to the sharp rise in food, bedding, and animal care costs, many of the current zoo memberships and admission fees are insufficient to cover zoo operation costs, as well as make significant improvements to the zoo's infrastructure. City Solicitor Cynthia Marr reviewed the changes to revised ordinance of the City of Attleboro and approved them as to form. Copies in your packet.
Ordinances and legislative matters, and Council B. Small, would you like to call for a public hearing on April 19th?
Yes, please.
Thank you. This will be a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Parks and Forestry Derek Corsi regarding the needs for funds to hire a consulting firm for the preparation of a comprehensive master plan and strategic plan for Caperne Park Zoo. This plan will create a shared vision and operational roadmap for developing the zoo for the next 10 to 15 years. This plan is important to inform a logical, timely program of major repairs and replacement to the zoo's existing buildings and infrastructure. It will further identify and establish the short, long-range development of the zoo to ensure its exhibits, education programs, and visitors' amenities continue to draw a strong number of visitors for the foreseeable future. The zoo is up for the AZA accreditation this summer, and it will be very beneficial during that process to have a master strategic plan in progress at that point in time. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $100 million from account $100,000, excuse me, all these zeros tonight, from account 100-359-000 undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account 1660100-584059 Caperne Park Zoo Master Plan. Copies in your packet.
Finance Committee, please.
Thank you. I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the needs for funds to replace 2 ornamental streetlights located on Pleasant Street that were damaged in separate automobile accidents earlier this year. Although claims were put through the insurance company, the city is still waiting for the insurance reimbursement to replace the ornamental streetlights. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $37,488 from account 1000-359000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1420100-587360 public works ornamental lights. Copies in your packets.
City property and claims, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Budget and Administration, Jeremy Stull, regarding the executed memorandum of agreement with the Attleboro Police Association, which covers fiscal years 2021, 2022, and 2023. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $103,750 from account 1124100-578350 citywide reserve fund for labor negotiations to account 1210-1000-5130001 police department lump sum retro to fund section 1C of the MOA. Additionally, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $249,000 from account 1000-359000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1210100-5130001 police lump sum retro to fund section 1D of the MOA. Copies in your packet.
Public safety, please.
I want to give you an update on free cash spending. As of right now, we have $5,690,694 in free cash.
Madam Clerk, we'll waive the rest of the reading. This is an FYI that will be assigned to the Finance Committee. And, Madam Clerk, are there any other communications?
Yes, Mr. President, we have the City Clerk's communication of March 15th, 2022. Clerk's office received a request for permission to install a new pole 40C across from the pole 5173 on Pine Street from the Massachusetts Electric Company.
That will go to Public Works. And Council Dolan, would you like to call for a public hearing on April 19th?
Yes, please.
Okay, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
We received a certificate of vote from the Planning Board regarding the proposed amendments to 17-9.0 special permits and 17-15.0 site plan review of the city zoning ordinance to certify the unanimous vote to adopt the amendments.
Zoning and land use, please.
The clerk's office received 2 letters from Mayor Hero regarding Reed Street paving and possible sidewalks.
Public Works, please.
11 letters of support for sidewalks on Reed Street were received from the City Council office. The following people wrote in favor: S. Mercia, A. Straminsky, R. Denningham, 3rd, M. Laraguno, L. Laraguno, F. Cali, B. Noble, D. Walton, R. Bogans, T. Vecchiarelli, and K. Marino.
Public Works Department, please.
No further communications?
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to go into Committee of the Whole.
Second.
This is a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Is there anyone to speak in the Committee of the Whole? Any business to bring in front of the council? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to arise
Second.
from Committee of the Whole.
Second.
Again, as a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. And we will begin with our committee reports, beginning with Council Waterman.
Yes. The License Committee has no business this evening. We'll meet again at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Council Dolan.
Thank you. Reporting for Public Works Committee from the docket of March 15th, 2022, $1,257.57 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account Public Works crosswalk systems for the purchase of 7 new solar crosswalks.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, we discussed this in committee.
Any other questions, comments, concerns from the council? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Council Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Vice President Kobus?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to appropriate $28,500 from account wastewater enterprise fund retained earnings to account wastewater enterprise fund professional services to hire a consultant to help develop the SSO notification plan.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
None.
Any comments from the council? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Council Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair? President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. That's all the business I have for Public Works tonight, and I'd like to call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you very much, Council Conti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reporting for the Finance Committee, I have 3 votes for this evening's committee, council. From the docket of March 15, 2022, I move to appropriate $30,000 from the account undesignated fund balance, free cash general government, to the account treasurer Medicare tax to cover anticipated expenses for the remainder of fiscal year 2022.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, Mr. President, this is routine. We get it every year, and it's a very predictable event.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Council Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the docket on March 15, 2022, I move to transfer $50 from the account Clerk Supplies Office to account Clerk Dues to pay the Massachusetts City Clerks Association dues.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
Yes, Mr. President. I fully support this, and I hope my councilors will as well, that the continuing education of the personnel in City Hall is critical for them to conduct their business efficiently and correctly. And being on the executive board of the Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officials and the Bristol County Assessing Association, I certainly encourage the clerk to get active in this association, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions, concerns? It's a lot of money, a lot of pressure right there. $50, Madam Clerk. All right, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Council Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. And finally, from the docket of January 4th, 2022, I move that the following business be referred to the administration. The request of the Attleboro Historical Commission to seek a consultant to assist in ranking the city's existing historic resources inventory that is included in the inventory of Massachusetts Historical Commission.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any questions or comments?
It's just a move to move the project forward. It's out of our hands.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, we'll have a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes the business the Finance Committee has to bring before the council this evening. We look forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, Council Conti. Council Bennett.
Reporting for Transportation and Traffic Committee. From the docket of February 1st, 2022, I move to approve the following amendment to Section 10-4.18. Add the following section, 10-4.18E. The following streets are designated as having speed humps/speed cushions, and the city is hereby authorized and directed to erect and maintain speed humps/speed cushions. Add the following in proper alphabetical order: Claflin Street.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Cobus. Council Bennett, any comments?
Just that this one, we voted out of committee last week, but previously we had heard from the mayor during the public hearing. This is our first permanent speed hump going in, so I think this is going to help inform the process going forward. And we'll get an idea of placement and the process for that, and this should help us with the future requests for permanent speed humps.
Great. Vice President Cobus.
As a ward counselor, I encourage folks to support this. And the one thing that I'll be looking at is data showing us that it's actually effective 3 months, 6 months down the road to actually understand that these are effective. And I'd like to see that before approving or considering further permanent speed humps. But as a ward counselor, I encourage people to support this.
Any additional comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Mr. Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of February 1st, 2022, I move to amend Chapter 10-5.2A to add no parking on the southerly side of East Street, 510 feet from O'Neill Boulevard.
Second.
Thank you, motion is in order. Any comments?
No comments.
Any from the council? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Council Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of February 1st, 2022, I move to amend Chapter 10-4.11 isolated stop signs of the revised ordinances as follows. Delete westbound drivers on Bliss Avenue at Bourne Avenue and replace with eastbound and westbound drivers on Bliss Avenue at Bourne Avenue.
Second.
Thank you, motion is in order. Any comments?
This was discussed in committee just a couple of weeks ago. It's also had a public hearing, and this is correcting an issue at right now an offset intersection that's a little bit odd, so this will help alleviate some of the issues of that intersection.
Thank you very much. Any additional comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Mr. Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the business of the Transportation and Traffic Committee. I call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Very good, thank you. Vice President Cobus, welcome back.
Thank you. Reporting for the IT and Infrastructure Committee, I have one item tonight. From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to transfer $1,870 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account Assessor Appraisal Services to complete the appraisal process of additional telecommunication equipment within the city.
Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Councilor Dolan. Any comments?
This is just to further appraise a number of cell towers and whatnot within the city. We had already paid for 12 of them, and there's 7 additional ones to be appraised.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the business for the IT and Infrastructure Committee. I call for committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, and Vice President Cobus, do you mind calling for a committee meeting for zoning and land use, please?
I call for a committee meeting for zoning and land use.
Thank you. Councilor Reynolds.
Reporting for City Property and Claims Committee from the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to transfer $1,100 from account treasurer-staff development to account treasurer office supplies to buy 5 new office chairs for the treasurer's office.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, not from here.
Okay, does council have any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
That is all the business for City Property and Claims Committee this evening, but I would like to call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delicio. Reporting for Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, we have 5 items tonight. For the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to approve the following reappointments of position and terms as indicated. Joanne Vaughn, Attleboro Housing Authority, Tenant Rep, February 2027 expires. Shannon Benet, Planning Board, February 2027.
Second.
Thank you, motion is in order. Any comments?
We just discussed this, and lucky to have these people.
Okay, thank you. Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to approve the appointment of Alexis Karagonis, 61 Steeplechase Circle, Unit 3, to fill an unexpired term on the Conservation Commission, term to expire February 2023.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
I just heard from Alexis. I think she's a great fit.
Okay, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
For the docket of March 15, 2022, I move to confirm the appointments of Mayor Paul Harrow and Council President James Delacio as representatives of the city on the Sturdy Memorial Hospital Board of Managers, term to expire February 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
I think we got two great guys going on there.
Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, this too requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
For the docket of March 15, 2022, I move to approve the reappointment of Julie Hobson, 84 Barrow Street, North Attleboro, Mass., to the position of Chief Assessors as recommended by the Board of Assessors for a term of 3 years, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Cobus. Motion is in order. Any comments?
We just discussed a lot of great things about Julie, and we're thrilled to have her back.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
For the docket of March 15, 2022, I move to approve the appointment of Jason Allard, 7 Nick Rock Road, to fill an expired term on the Municipal Building Commission, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
Yeah, we just spoke about Jason Allard. He spoke in front of us. Another great person for the Building Commission.
Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, this too requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to approve the appointment of Christopher Leon, 34 Constitution Ave, to fill an expired term on the Conservation Commission, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
Again, I think this is another great fit on the Conservation Commission, and we just heard from him.
Any additional comments, questions from the council? Seeing none, this also requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's all the business for the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee, and I call for a meeting at the next available time.
Thank you. Councilor DeSimone.
Yes, thank you. Just one item of business reporting for ordinances, elections, and legislative matters. From the docket of March 1st, 2022, I move to approve the following policy for waiving building department permit fees.
You may waive the reading.
Second.
May I waive the reading, please?
Oh, no.
And waive the reading.
Just kind of helping you out.
Okay, yes, thank you.
It's a lot of words on those pages.
I would like to waive the reading as well.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Cobus. Any comments, Councilor DeSimone?
No, I don't think any are needed at this point. Thank you.
Okay, any additional comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, this will be a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Aye.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes isn't here tonight. Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the business of the Ordinances, Elections, and Legislative Matters Committee, and we request a meeting at the next appropriate time, please.
Thank you, Councilor DeSimone.
Thank you.
Councilor Blair.
Thank you. Reporting Public Safety Committee. I have 3 motions tonight. From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to approve expending as such funds in any future grant amendments requiring the fire department's receipt of the firefighter safety equipment grant from the Department of Fire Services for $19,090.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Cobus. Councilor Blair, any comments?
It's just a grant that I think we're fortunate enough to get most every year, so it goes to equipment that's needed for the safety of our firefighters and whatnot.
Thank you. Any additional comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to approve the transfer of $92 from account 112410000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 122010000-573010 fire dues to replenish funds used for parking fees.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Cobus. The motion is in order. Any comments?
No, we discussed that in committee, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, this requires a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of March 15th, 2022, I move to transfer $1,100 from account 112410000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 121010000-514035 Police Prior Year Longevity to pay FY20 and FY21 longevity payments that were not paid.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Cobus. Motion is in order. Any comments?
Contractual, and we discussed it last week in committee.
Thank you. Any additional comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Council Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes. Councilor Blair.
Excuse me.
No
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call for a committee meeting next week at the appropriate time.
Thank you, sir. We have one piece of old business, and for that, I will recognize Councilor Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we had a voice vote back on February 15th to replace a yield sign that's currently on Jewel Avenue with a stop sign. Turns out that this did not designate the direction of the stop sign, and when looking at the ordinance, there's actually an error in the ordinance as to the intersection. It says it's Jewel at Burndale, but it's Jewel at Hawthorne. So we are needing to rescind the vote and to bring this back corrected as a new motion.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Yes.
Well, one moment.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes. That is all for old business. We have several pieces of new business. First, I'll be recognizing Councilor Bennett.
Thank you. I move that the following be referred for study and recommendation. A motion to delete an erroneous reference of Jewel Ave at Burndale from existing ordinance for yield signs 10-4.6.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments?
No, this is what I was referencing just now.
Good. Additional comments or questions? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And we will refer that to Traffic and Transportation. And we'll recognize Councilor Bennett again.
I move that the following be referred for study and recommendation to amend Ordinance 10-4.11 isolated stop signs by adding Jewel Ave at Hawthorne Street for eastbound, I'm sorry, this is incorrect. This should be westbound drivers.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments?
No additional comments. Thank you.
Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And that will go to Traffic and Transportation as well. And Councilor Bennett, would you like to refer both of these to the Traffic Commission?
I don't think there's any need. This has already come up through them.
Okay, very good. We'll recognize for the next two pieces, Vice President Cobus.
Thank you. I move that the following be referred for study and recommendation to amend the Attleboro Municipal Council Rules of Procedures by adding to 7-1.4 the Finance Committee description and responsibilities.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
This is just to update the Finance Committee to match what we're now doing in that committee.
Very good. Any additional comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And we'll recognize, and that will go to the Finance Committee.
Perfect. I move that the following be referred for study and recommendation to amend the Attleboro Municipal Council Rules of Procedures 7-1.5, the IT and Infrastructure Committee description and responsibilities.
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Angelo. Any comments?
Again, that's just to update the rules and procedures to match the new committee.
Any additional comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, this also requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That is all the business we have for tonight, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 8:09.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Nice work tonight, everyone. There's a lot on the...